We'll have a lot to talk about. Yeah.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, talking about houses gets me fucking
Hey,
hot.
baby. Hey. Bang. Kick this thing off. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Entertaining Stupid Podcast. My name is Buddy Jayson, and with me today are
Matty B,
Rheal, and Sylvan.
All right. So this week, Ray, you wanted to come to us to ask about buying a home.
get some advice on it, yo. We're in that lifestyle area, age-wise area, age range.
You forgot area again.
No,
Area?
Area?
Something about areas?
Yeah, and this is actually a really good group we have here because we have very different spectrums of living arrangements, so we can get definitely some good advice from everyone and
Yeah,
all the
definitely.
differences.
Definitely. Yeah,
So-
well, I guess in context, right? Like me and you aren't house owners or own property, whereas Jayson owns a property, doesn't live in it necessarily, but owns a property, and Sylvan owns a house and lives in it.
And also the fact that I'm living in my parents' basement, whereas you're actually renting.
Yeah,
a
and
place.
I'm renting, yeah.
So differences there. So
Definitely. A lot
So
of
you've
different
saved
spectrums.
enough for a down payment now.
I got a down payment.
20%.
Sure. Well, it depends on what I'm buying.
I guess.
Well, it
yeah.
actually depends too
That's
now, because it doesn't have to be 20% for first-time home buyers either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
just
Well,
depends what you want. Depends
is
what
it-
you want.
It doesn't always have to be 20%.
I don't
even
think,
if you
no.
No, it's
but
5%.
it's just you have to get
for-
the
Yeah.
insurance.
Yeah.
You
You
well,
have to
you're
get it-
paying for house insurance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like on top of it.
And
Like
one thing to
default insurance.
note is I'd heard someone say that if you only have the 5% and you have to get the insurance, once you hit 20% equity in your house, you can cancel the insurance.
Yeah. But I
Gotcha.
think at that point you have to remortgage or something like that.
Yeah, you
Really?
would remortgage, I think.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Okay, yeah. So, like, tell us about what you're looking at. What you're looking for. Like, is there anything specific you're looking for? What kind of ranges are you looking for comfortable, like that you're comfortable spending?
He wants one of those $1 million condos with the vaulted ceilings.
Fuck
Those
yeah.
are like downtown by the river there. Those are awesome.
Actually, no, those ones actually don't cost $1 million. The $1 million ones are out in fucking Grasswood by that golf course.
Wait, condo?
Yeah.
$1 million condo.
Yeah.
I was amazed that we had $1 million houses here. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of $1 million houses. Yeah.
What? How do you justify that?
Hey, if you got money.
make far more money than any of us do will ever make in our
They
lives.
probably make enough to pay it off in 2 years if they wanted to.
That's insane. But wow.
Like, I mean,
Oh,
if you're like a family and like you're a doctor and your spouse is a lawyer, it's
Yeah.
a little more doable.
Mhm. Yep. So what kind of price
Yeah.
range are you looking at? Let's start with price, for example. So what kind of range are you looking at? What do you feel is your maximum, that you're comfortable with spending, and then what's the minimum? Like, do you find that there might be
10,000?
No, I know, but like let's say like do you find like for something like in the $94,000 range, do you think that's
Yeah.
too cheap? Do you think that could be some concerns because it's of that price point, or
No, I wouldn't have concerns with that. It'd actually be really amazing because then you're getting way less of a mortgage, not paying as much interest
Yeah,
to the bank.
with
and all
the
that.
94,000 thing, it also depends on if you're going condo, townhouse, or home. If
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
find
Yeah.
a home for like 108 grand, you're probably not in a good area.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Probably
bad
not-
area.
and
The house
definitely-
is in
yeah.
disrepair. Probably gonna have to do roof. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
it's in garbage. But for like this condo I'm looking at, I think these are built to be, the lower end income, blah blah blah, cheaper stuff. So it's not that it's in bad shape. It's just a small 1-bedroom condo, with a whole bunch of others packed together.
Yeah.
It's like an
Mhm.
apartment building almost. So
what the listeners don't know is that we have the condo in the background and we're looking at it.
So yeah, just general rundown. This one, it's a 94,000 asking price. It's like a 600 square foot, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and so that's the thing. Is it? I'm a single person. I don't need a lot, and
Yeah.
No,
for
I'm mostly on my computer or watching TV. It's not like I need a whole bunch of space. I don't really need a activity room or something like that. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So this would meet all my needs. The one thing that I do value a lot is not disturbing other people. So that's where that's the downside of the condo.
Okay.
And having other people not disturb you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the type of person I really hate where I'm just like, oh, I need to turn my TV down and I need to turn this down because I don't want to disturb any other people. And like, I need to walk carefully on the floor so I'm not thumping around upstairs. Like I hate being that person, and then I hate having to think about that all the time and changing my lifestyle to suit other people.
Is a couple questions. I guess maybe we can look at the description here. Like, does it have like central air conditioning or anything like that?
I didn't really look too much.
And is this like on the top floor, middle floor? Do we have any kind of info on that?
Okay, it's got AC, wall AC.
Wall AC, okay. That's better than nothing.
In the one bedroom located, I don't think it says on which level. One or two of them. There's a couple in the same air block.
But I do see that it's like shared laundry.
Yeah, that one.
So
sucks.
that's a pain in the ass. I've gone through that because I used to live in an apartment building, and it was similar to kind of what you're looking at now, except it was 2 rooms and 1 bathroom. And from my experience, it wasn't bad, but there was no AC, and we're on the top floor. And when there's no AC and it's plus 35 out, you're sweating buckets. It's so freaking hot.
Sylvan would know.
Yeah.
Like, I was dying. It was like a heat record wave and a swift current when I was there. So that's one thing I'll mention. So, like, me and my roommate would drive, like, in our car for 30 minutes to have the AC blast on just to cool down before we went to bed and take a cold shower before you go to bed.
Oh, my God.
That's how hot it was. So that was a pain in the ass. Even though we're on the top floor, you could still hear a lot of people below you.
Yeah.
That's another thing. The walls aren't very thick. At least in that apartment building. That doesn't mean that's not the same as the condo.
Mm-hmm.
But, those are some things you got to think of, I guess, and if that's the instance. And then shared laundry, it's usually pretty good. Like, you're pretty much... They have multiple machines, so you should be able to get yours done and not worry about it. No one goes and fucks with your laundry anyway. But... Yeah. That can be a pain in the ass because you have to go downstairs. So it might be like 3 flights of stairs if you don't have, like an elevator or anything like that. So that could be a pain in the ass too. But and then moving in obviously too can be a pain in the ass depending on what you got. But that's just one thing. That doesn't mean it's bad.
All I'm saying, Ray, is this is close enough to your parents' house that you could probably just drive over like your brother.
Yeah.
Do laundry at your parents' house.
Is one option.
But that is a pain in the ass too. Over time, it becomes a pain in the ass, right? So.
And the whole point is to kind of be away from the parents a bit more.
Yeah.
So having to rely on them.
No, for sure. But price point.
So this one is all about price point.
Yeah.
So this option is cheapest option to be living on your own and owning a place on your own. Because at this point,
one bedroom, I mean, it's fantastic.
And that's also the idea I've always kind of thought about is just the fact of like, why would I be paying someone's rent when I could be paying my own mortgage?
Yeah, no, for sure.
So especially for something cheap like this.
Man, the rent, like your mortgage payment would not be very much.
No.
For 94, Jesus,
yeah, it's pretty small.
Because they're probably like what?
20 and 718,000 square feet.
20-year mortgage.
Yeah, well,
probably.
I would very much want to do the open mortgage where I can just drop like at the end of the year or something, some extra amount on it.
You can. I think even with a closed mortgage, you can still do a payment at the end of the year too.
With mine,
you can do up to 15%.
With mine, I'm allowed to do 11%.
Yeah.
With no penalty.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's certain ones. It depends on what
per
you
year.
Have. Yeah.
So.
But
that's crazy.
The other thing is the square footage is actually pretty good for this. It's 718 square feet. Most bungalows are like 1,200 square feet, 13. So it's not like it's half the size. It's not bad. So it's like a main floor, kind of when you look at the whole thing.
Yeah. It's not capsule corp here. It's not tiny 1-bedroom closet that you're living in, and full bath and all that. So, and then so the other option would be another one we're looking at.
So. Just to add on to that, then.
Okay.
So no. I just had one more question there. Like, I guess the other nice thing is that like it's a good starter place for 94,000, and if you want to sell it, I'm sure someone who was starting out would do the same thing and buy it.
I think it'd be easy to flip.
So I don't think it'd be that hard to flip.
Yeah. And that's it. You put up the exact right thing. Is it's a starter home, and that's I think where a lot of people seem to run into trouble is. I've even seen it with my family where it's like, and my parents are like, you need to buy this house and it's 3 bedrooms in case you have a family and this and that. And I'm going, it's a starter home. This is supposed to be your first home. It's cheap, just barely covers what you need. You spend 5 years there or whatever, and then you move on to whatever you actually need and your needs demand.
Hey, Ray, your parents owned a lot of property. Why don't you just buy one of them from?
No, I'm drawing a line. I'm not buying from parents. I'm not getting the parents involved in my house purchase whatsoever. I'm pushing my way.
So gonna be a big boy.
Yeah.
So just to go back to that initial question, then, what are you like? What's your maximum that you're comfortable spending?
Well,
like for a mortgage,
it's not so much. Or I'm not really thinking in terms of the price amount. I'm thinking like monthly payments. And
Okay, gotcha.
the one I was when it came to this one, and
Yeah.
with my down payment and just a quick basic math calculator that they give you, the fact that it has the monthly association payments,
Yeah.
this one came out to like $1,000 a month or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I was comfortable with that, because that's over twice
Plus
what I'm paying
property
right
tax. Yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta include property monthly if you do monthly installments.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
what is
they-
it? I have a townhouse, right? My mortgage I think is around a little over $800.
Okay.
Association fees of like $250, and then property tax on top of that. I'm close to $1,100.
Damn, dude. Like everything adds up so fast.
Yeah.
And then
And
if you just throw in your basic monthly
utilities,
utilities,
yeah.
rent or internet.
Yeah,
phone,
I
blah, blah, blah.
hit about for monthly payments just to keep the house operating.
But
Is about $1,400.
think about it that way though. You that's only like half your month's wages that you put on your house.
Yeah. I'd say it's almost a bit more than half if it's just a regular paycheck. And
Oh yeah,
And
base, but
I don't feel comfortable putting half a paycheck into the house. Like that seems like a lot. That's just me. And then when you go to the bank and trying to get approved for everything, don't they say 33% is what you should be spending on your house?
no, that's your debt service ratio.
Yeah.
So like if you have no payments for your car, if you have nothing really,
Yeah.
then you'll be fine.
But
It's all based on your debt. So like if your credit card you like say if you have like $7,000 on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then your minimum payment every month is like $94 on it, they take that 94 and put it towards your debt service ratio.
Mm-hmm.
They would take your car payment of like let's say it's $300 a month,
Mm-hmm.
and then they take your cell phone bill, and then they like all your monthly payments that
yeah.
you make, and they put it into a calculation, and then they take your wage and they divide it by that, and it gives you a percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's below 33%, you're fine.
Okay.
Listen
So
to,
you don't really
listen to
have
Matty here.
expenses.
He's the
Yeah,
banking
he knows.
expert here.
But if you don't really, because you have your car outright, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for your internet like if you didn't want to, but you already have it. So let's say your
Maybe
what's your
internet,
rent? You said
so-
like 500 roughly.
At my parents' house?
Yeah,
400.
400.
So
Okay, and then with the
400,
internet, so let's say it's like 550 with
Yep.
internet, right?
Okay.
So they take that 550 and then maybe your phone bill, and that would be it.
So say 600.
That's it. And then they would divide it like, and then let's say you get paid. I'm just
Say-
doing the math. Let's say that's $1,000 every. No, so let's say you clear $2,000 every 2 weeks, right? So for the month it's 4,000. I'm just making an example. Don't worry.
I was like, damn.
I'm not saying
making
that.
bank.
But like say you clear that, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
your gross, they would actually take your gross, so it'd be more
Right.
than that. So it'd be like, let's say it's 5,000,
Yeah.
for example. So
Yeah.
60,000 a year. They take that amount and they divide that by your total debt payments or your payments you make,
Yeah.
and it gives you a percentage. And if
Right.
it's below that threshold, then you're completely fine.
But in this case, so if the house alone came out to like 1,100 and your gross for the month was
So
three,
let's stick with
no,
your
I guess that's 30%.
yeah, but yours would be higher than 3, I think, because they would take into consideration, overtime. They take into consideration all that
Oh,
stuff. So it's not just it's not just your base salary,
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It just
and they take all your assets, right? So like if you had like a lot of money in your bank,
Yeah,
they'll put that in the equation too.
okay.
hmm
Not just the fact of this would be down payment reducing the cost of the house, or
No. Well, and that actually reduces your mortgage payment too.
Yeah,
so then
yeah,
your
yeah.
mortgage payment would be lower. So
Yeah.
then that would actually be part of that calculation too.
okay.
So
I don't know. It's just I think it's the fact that I've never really had a big monthly payment. Like I've never had a car payment. I've never had the rent, like a big rent or anything like that.
Yeah.
So just the idea of someone telling me you now owe $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month. Like, fuck.
I still think that's pretty affordable. It's easier if you have another person with you.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
it's like $600, right?
Oh yeah.
But for the fact that like 1,200 is still definitely doable compared. If it was like $2,000 or close to that, you're like, oh fuck.
Oh god, $2,000.
Yeah.
I'd be broke.
Dude, my little brother just moved out to one of those apartments down by Riverside. Yeah, those number one landing ones or whatever. Who moved out of my townhouse, which I was charging him like $400 a month or whatever. He's paying $1,300 for an apartment on the 7th floor overlooking the river.
Which I don't understand. He's paying my mortgage, and I have
And
more room in my house
Yeah.
than I know what to do with.
That's rent.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? It's because it's a lifestyle choice. Because like it's close to for socialization.
actually,
like
it's-
that's what it is.
It's also a fucking nice apartment.
Oh, I'm
Oh, nice.
sure. For
Nice.
that, it better be fucking gold plated. I don't know. But
And
no,
I'm assuming he's a bachelor, right? So like, yeah, bachelor pad. That's like
yeah,
the
and
definition of one.
like you said, lifestyle. Like that's a beautiful area. You
Yeah.
can probably go for walks in the local area and all that. So
Yeah, and I guess we're at a point where we're thinking of a little bit more than that kind of stuff.
in particular, what?
Oh, you saying we're past that point? Is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah, we're past like
The fancy living and all that. Well, it's just that was never my life.
There's other stuff he means. I know what he means.
Okay, I
Yeah,
got
he's
you.
trying to say other things. Yeah.
What are
We'll
we
keep it PG
censoring the
today.
podcast now?
We'll be-
Since when have we done
He's like
that?
saying like you can bring chicks back too and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
and
yeah.
impress them with your downtown apartment.
yeah.
Look
That's
at
what
my
he's meaning.
bed.
Look at my one room.
Oh
Look
wow,
at
it's
this
such beautiful.
fridge I just bought.
She just comes in. Wow, it's such a beautiful view. Get to my room. Yeah, it's fine.
It's a whirlpool.
But yeah, looking at
That's not how it happens. I just
like
making
looking
a
at
joke.
this one,
Yeah.
just from my personal experience, it's what is this? 1,140 square feet,
Mhm.
and it has a basement as well.
Sorry, just to cut you off for a moment.
Yeah.
We're just looking at a second listing here. This one is a townhouse. So like someone just said, 1,100 square foot townhouse going for 225, 2 bed, 2 bath with a basement.
Like my house is slightly bigger than yours,
Okay.
like than this one specifically.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying like that I have too much room for just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will find out that is too much
Oh,
for
yeah.
just you.
I was
Yeah,
living
yeah,
with when I was living with Sil. Even we would just have the
yeah,
upstairs.
we didn't
would just
go
use-
downstairs. Like
Yeah.
we went downstairs to do laundry, and that's it.
And then
Okay, yeah.
and then your sister moved down there, and then she just had the whole basement to
Yeah, like
herself.
she had like her room and like the living room downstairs, completely all to herself.
Yeah. No, you absolutely have a point, and you're right. I don't need this much space. The one thing I really enjoy about this is the fact that it's a bit more isolated, so you only really have to worry about people on either side, and the fact that it has a basement would provide a lot more sound deadening. So it's like I can be in the basement watching TV, and then you should be able to crank it pretty good.
Yeah.
it's
without
not
disturbing.
like you're gonna have a lot of people over. You're not like Stefan who tries to throw a New Year's party or Halloween.
Even
party.
that one worked though because
did work.
It did work because they were in a townhouse.
Yeah. So no,
You have to have a
it's-
good neighbor though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's I mean sometimes it just kind of spilt out onto the front lawn and into the backyard, but
everywhere. No, you're right. It's not so much a social thing. It's just again, I said it's the personal feeling like, oh, if I turn my TV up too much, people might hear it. Oh.
Yeah.
fuck them.
Yeah.
But even still, I don't want to disturb
Like
people.
none of that. Like unless you're like because that first one, like your neighbors would be like right below you, they might hear that. But
Yeah.
anything like this, like you would have to have your TV absolutely fucking blaring,
Would you say that for the basement or even main level?
even main level.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you think
your
that
neighbors are not that close.
Yeah.
Like there's like what would probably be like 3-4 feet in between from your house to their house. I'm guessing. Just look at this picture. Yeah, 3-4 feet
Mhm.
of airspace plus your wall insulation, their wall insulation.
Right.
Like unless like your like the TV is right against like
Their
your bedroom
wall.
is right against their
You have-
bedroom wall.
Yeah.
You have the speakers turned out of the window towards their house.
Yeah, especially because I've been at your house and like the level that your TV is always at, that is not going to be a problem at all.
No. Oh no. Like my parents barely hear it from even
Exactly.
upstairs. So
So
yeah. No, I'm definitely overthinking it. But yeah. No. Now it just becomes the idea. And actually, I like that you've mentioned that because that makes me feel a lot better about this idea of the townhouse. Just the sound,
yeah, sound wise.
sound wise. So now it just come down to the finances level.
Yeah, like to where you were
'Cause-
comfortable. Like I would, like, cause personally, I hate apartments. I hate anything like that style. Cause like
Yeah.
I don't want to be able to see my neighbors. I don't want
Mhm.
to hear them. I don't want anything to do with that. That's why I bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like just like that, I was just like nothing apartment wise. I looked at a couple townhouses. I was like, even then, I'm like too close. Like we all share the same like parking lot entrance and everything. I was like, I didn't like it. And then my house came up on the market, and it was like from like within 13 days of when I got my real estate agent, I had a house. I was a lot of money in debt.
That's
I was like,
insane, dude.
I love that situation because it was very similar to me too. It's like, okay, I need to buy something. I met with a realtor, and then like 2 weeks later, I was signing papers and everything. I'm like, that went a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah, if you have a good realtor, it helps a lot, man.
That's insane, man.
They get you. They help negotiate it too, right?
yeah.
And they have ideas like where you can like kind of negotiate
spent-
to that price
I
point.
spent 3 days negotiating on the price of my place and knocked it down about 20 grand.
I didn't.
Seriously,
I didn't
20?
need to.
Oh, really?
Because
Yeah.
the
Just such a good price that you just
Yeah,
said, let's
like
do it.
like for what I have,
Yeah.
like I have a lot of room for
Yeah, you
like
do.
everything. There is because like, I was thinking in the future because like, I'm thinking of holding on to this for a while.
Yeah.
for like how big the basement is and everything, I could throw like a second bathroom downstairs.
Yep.
And that instantly will raise my market value by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With a like, because I was like looking for like a big backyard because I have a dog, so like my backyard is huge.
Yep.
So like if I want to throw a garage in there, it's like okay, well that's another thing that
Mm-hmm.
it raises it, but it doesn't raise it a whole lot. But like the bathroom is huge,
Definitely.
and then like I can like redo my kitchen. That would, like basically all the rentals I want to do would cost me about 60-ish grand, and it'll raise my market value by like 100 grand. Damn. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and that's another thing to think of. Like, are you going to hold on to this? Like, we were thinking for 5 years.
Well, no, that was the idea for the
smaller one.
The smaller one, because you could pay it off within 5 years and
Yeah.
then sell it, have that whole thing for a down payment for another place, which would reduce it by quite a bit. So
Yeah.
your mortgage is a lot less. Blah,
You
blah,
could also rent it out.
Yeah, if you
Ooh,
want to.
become
And
a
then you
landlord.
get extra income.
Yeah.
But then that's another pain. That could be a
Then
pain
you
in
can
the
be like
ass,
your
though.
dad. Oh.
Yeah.
God, not
the
my
tail feed.
lord.
And then you have an asset that's worth X amount of dollars that you can just have as security.
Yeah. and
It's
then,
such a good idea until you become a landlord.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And then, well, I mean, you personally know, right? Just having to clean up after tenants.
Fucking
Now,
awful.
my question is like, would you want something like older like this? So like for people that are listening to this, you're looking at an older place here, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this is a townhouse. It's got 2 beds, 2 baths. The price is, let's just average it out, $225,000.
Mm.
Good location, right? It's
Yep,
a good
yep,
location.
yep.
Looks like it's got some renovations to it. Now it's like been updated in 2013, so 7 years, but it's nice, right? Like the cupboards look nice. They're all
It's all
white, newly done, like newer done, right? So like this is something I think that might be good, right? Like it's that you can tell the flooring is pretty new.
Mm-hmm.
So like for the price point, it's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is like, would you be willing to spend like let's just say in like something like $325, but everything's brand spanking new, and then you don't have to touch it for 10 years compared to where you might have to touch something like this in the 3 to 4 depending on what it is. Like, are you willing to do that too? You think or no?
Just because of my circumstances, I would say no,
Yeah.
because the higher price point is too much of a downside, as well as the fact that I can just rely on my dad to do a lot of fixing up and things.
No, for sure, and that's
So-
that's a huge thing too.
If I
Alright,
didn't have
All right,
him,
we're talking again hypothetically. Like this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, right?
yeah.
If it's by yourself, it's a lot of space.
Yeah.
You pick up a roommate, you cut that mortgage payment essentially in half,
Pretty much.
and then you throw Dan in the basement, man.
Yeah, fuck
Dan
that
and his-
hermit in the basement. Yeah.
Pot garden.
Dan barely even comes outside to go to work.
Give him a little.
Hey, can you go to
cave.
that basement?
Basically, just,
That's a pretty nice
hide
basement,
cookies on
man.
the stairs, and he just like crawls up like some kind of gremlin.
Honestly, Ray, this is a pretty nice place.
No, I know, and that's why I was looking at the apartments, and I was so like, "Oh, dead set, it's cheap, it's
Yeah.
great." And then my mom showed me these, and I was looking through the pictures, and actually, this one's okay. She showed me a different one. I can't remember which one it was,
Yeah.
but she showed me a different one that I liked even more than this. Like the kitchen just looked a lot better,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Fuck, this looks really, really
See,
good."
If you ask me if I had to choose between a condo or a townhouse, I'd go townhouse all
Yeah.
day.
Oh yeah, no,
Way
I-
more,
of course
lot
I
more
would, too.
space, a lot more rooms. Like there's separation. You have a basement, which is nice.
Mhm.
The plus for this place, it's got a wet bar downstairs.
Yeah,
It
they have
does.
the bar.
Well, it's not. It's actually nice. Like it's got a nice yard too, right?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing you'll have is a yard.
Yeah.
Compared to
So-
the only reason I asked that is because I know that in Brighton, because me and Ashley were looking at places just a year ago just for shits and giggles.
Mhm.
But the ones in Brighton, they're building new and they're a little more expensive. So let's say $60,000 more, maybe close to $300,000.
Okay.
But what happens is you don't get any condo fees or townhouse fees.
Really?
Yeah, they're brand new, so it's like, hey, you just paid this payment
Yeah,
per
they,
month.
they want people to move in.
Yeah.
They're really trying to like.
So like
subsidize
that's the
that
huge
area.
perk. It's like, hey, you don't have to pay any fees, so you're saving
yeah.
$200 a month on it.
And which that extra 60,000 would probably come around to that 300.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's-
actually, probably it'd be close to it.
it'd be
right?
close too. So it's like, would you rather be paying these fees
So,
or?
so you got a brand new place. The only
Yeah.
thing is the basement isn't developed, but you can get a
Oh.
package. But you already got 3 rooms upstairs, and then a nice like main floor what's brand
Can
new with
pull
an
up a break?
island, it's got a kitchen island and everything like
Jamie,
that.
pull it up.
I can't remember,
Actually, haven't like a brand new place is kind
but
of nice.
and it's got a garage in the back too. So that's the other thing it comes
Ooh,
with.
garage is huge.
So
Garage is massive.
Yeah,
I can't. I think it's at 3. It's a 312 range or something.
We'll just scope it out a little bit, but
I just can't remember the builder, but like I could even show you. Like it's just on the main drag there. It's really nice.
yeah. But kind of talking. Ooh.
But yeah, see, like those have garages on it and everything like that. So you're paying a little more money, but you're getting a garage with it.
Dude, garages.
So it
So
has
nice.
more of a selling feature to someone who wants to buy something like that
Mhm.
compared to no garage, right?
These are townhouses.
Yeah, they're brand new built.
Yeah.
I think Jason. I think it's Daytona Homes. If you can go to Daytona Homes, Brighton.
Yeah, just as we're kind of looking at this, it's like you were saying, you're like, oh, I'd prefer a townhouse over a condo. Of course,
Yeah.
I would too. And actually, I'd prefer a house over just a townhouse. But it's tough to find small houses,
Yeah.
like its own separate house on a plot of land.
There you go.
that's
Brighton Community
smaller.
Home starting at $295 right there.
Oh yeah.
There's 5 listings. The houses look exactly the same.
I know. They all look
It's
the
a
exact
townhouse,
same.
man.
Nova T, Sedona B.
The Nova, like I think one
The
is like
Dodge Neon.
one just means like one's in the middle, right, and then one's in the end. So the ends are obviously more expensive because you have a little more space and you have the end compared to a middle one, right? So
Man,
because you're
this-
between two people.
This is the worst part of, especially like looking at houses. You're like, oh, for just an extra 30,000, I could get this, and just an extra 40,000, I could get something like this.
The thing with like the outside ones, your utility bill is going to be more expensive because you have 3 sides that are exposed to cold air, whereas the interior ones you have 2 sides, so your heating bill's less because like your neighbors share heat with you, but then you're trapped in between 2 people. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damn, that's thinking of like the in-depth stuff that I would never think of.
Yeah.
So, oh, there's so many options, and yeah, it all comes down to like, what are you willing to pay? What do you feel comfortable with?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel comfortable living in a van down by the river?
in a van
Yeah.
down by the river.
If I can get internet.
Can I borrow
you
a
guys-
Wi-Fi booster?
Have you guys seen like online that like there's a lot of people our age sort of doing that van living kind of lifestyle where they
I've
got
seen
like
it on
the-
YouTube, yeah.
yeah, like they got
Yeah.
like decked, like tricked out fucking like camper vans or whatever that they just live in, and that's their entire homes.
Do they drive around or do they stay in one spot?
You can
Do
drive
whatever the
around
fuck
with
they
it.
want.
You can drive around with it. Most of the time, they have just sort of like a general area that they sort of camp in for the night to plug in their car to get Wi-Fi or something like that. But like, they look fucking gorgeous
Yeah.
for a.
And for those really nice ones, those things probably cost upwards of $100,000, is my guess.
I have no idea. I just know that like the one like 'cause there's one girl who basically kind of like mainstreamed that lifestyle. Went from like she had a YouTube channel with like 200 or whatever subscribers to being have like 2 million in like 2 weeks because
Wow.
people just found out about it. She had like 2 videos and just exploded, and then everyone was like, I could do that too. And imagine being in Los Angeles and not having like because the mortgage you're looking at, you would get hot garbage.
Yeah, you'd have the 1-bedroom room closet
Yeah.
for rent. Yeah, but that's my question though, because even if you have this van to live in, you need somewhere to park, and if you're having to pay to park there, or just the rights and all that. So, but no, I only say that I think they're expensive because just looking at trailers and like buying these things, even some RVs are not bad, but especially the van ones are definitely expensive. Jesus, that's nice.
Yeah, like
Oh, that would cost a lot of money, I'm sure. It's like hardwood on the fucking.
It's a lot of work too. It's
Damn.
pretty. It is more cost effective, though.
yeah,
I don't
'cause-
think it's just a lot of work
Yeah,
more than
but
it
you're
is
also living in a van.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
You don't
yeah.
have a like plumbed in bathroom. You don't have a shower. You don't have like
Yeah.
all of those things that I would kind of consider a necessity.
and especially in Saskatchewan when
Modern
it's
day.
the winter and
Yeah.
minus 50 outside.
Yeah, that wouldn't work here.
Yeah, not here, but
No.
in like Texas and Arizona, Los Angeles, like California, those
Yeah.
are nice places.
I can see that. And you definitely have to be the type of person where you wake up in the morning and then you leave the van and you're outside all day or doing things away from your house.
Yeah,
and
whereas
you come
Yeah.
in,
I haven't seen the sun in like 3 weeks.
leaving my house is a chore, not a want.
So right now, like I'm looking at one. It's a 2-bedroom, 3 bathrooms. So it's 2.5 bathrooms.
I was thinking van.
323.
Holy shit, dude!
No.
What
no,
is
no.
this? A fucking school bus?
Sorry, I'm completely off the
It's a
bus.
semi hauling a
Sorry,
hauling a shipping
I'm off the
container.
bus topic, and I just was going back to what I was telling you about the one in Brighton. There, it's 323,000, but it doesn't come with a finished basement.
Mm.
But it's got 2 bedrooms
Mhm.
with the appliances, central air, and a garage,
Mm.
and 2.5 bathrooms for 323.
Damn.
So it's like 90,000 more
Or you can take that money, buy an 18-wheeler and trailer, and live in that.
If you want to do that too.
Take some of that money, put it into guns,
And then just live in your
buy
parents'
shoot up
all
a
the
house.
guns.
live in your
Actually-
parents' driveway instead of your parents' house.
buy an RV, park it out front of their house.
yeah.
Then you know what, Rheal? It wouldn't be a bad thing because then you'd always be at home when you're on the road. You know.
Get
Take
tired
my
of your
house.
parents? Just drive down the block. You know.
Take my house. I'm
Honestly,
going
like-
home.
Wait.
I totally respect those people that do that kind of stuff. I could never do it. Like,
God
me
no.
neither.
I mean, I bet they only do it for maybe a couple years or something.
well, they might just not care about possessions or anything. Like it's just like living, right? That's how they want to live, right? So they don't care about their computer or this
Yeah.
or that, right?
yeah.
Actually, I saw a lot of things that it's not even just vans, just like
there's
miniature
buses.
living, like
Yeah.
just like everything.
Oh, yeah, I've
is
seen that
just
too.
Squished down to being
Oh, like the tiny houses
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have
That
you
are-
seen like those train carts like that they convert?
Yeah.
Like those
I've
huge
seen like
bins.
shipping containers.
yeah.
Like,
That's it.
yeah.
Shipping container houses.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work though.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing 12 hours a day of that,
God.
and it takes like a year.
Oh my God. Wow.
Well, because they're
These
learning
are actual miniatures. These are actual miniatures.
they're like they're learning it on the go, right? And they're doing it all themselves.
Dollhouses.
Like they're learning to do
Okay,
the
these-
wiring. They're doing everything themselves, like the plumbing.
So they're not buying a shipment container.
No, they
pre-done.
buy
They're
a shipping.
doing-
Yeah, exactly.
doing
And they
it
do it all
themselves.
themselves.
So I totally get the idea of that, and it's pretty cool.
It's very much like loft living, right? Because like
Yeah.
you just have one room and then you break it up accordingly.
But even this, look at all the empty space on the in the roof.
Well,
I
it's
just-
like
in the roof.
Well, it's just the fact that it's like you're using a loft at the back there, but what about over this?
see that one
living
looks
room?
cooler. Like that one's like, hey, here's your open space. Your room's upstairs.
Yeah.
That the only thing I don't like about this is again, it's just one room for everything, right? Like your
Yeah.
bedroom, your kitchen, your living room technically is all one room, right?
Right.
So for the
You take
listeners,
a
yeah.
you take a girl to your bedroom, then you
Well,
know
this is
your brother
bachelor
can't be
living.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This
This
is,
is bachelor living.
You
So
don't have a roommate in this.
For the
Yeah.
listeners, we're just looking at like a house right now.
Just some pictures.
It's an
and
open.
stuff.
It's an open concept, and essentially there's a bedroom. There's a staircase that leads to a room where you put your bed, and then the rest is just open room.
The only thing I don't like about these types of living is that a lot of it is drawers, and for the life of me, I will run through all the drawers just to find out what I need, and every time I will not remember where I put it.
I'd put some labels up in front.
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't live like this.
I would try it. I don't think it.
This is probably the
Hmm.
proper way everyone should live, but I just don't. I'm not. I don't.
Well, like
use it
Sylvan said,
that.
he has so much space, and if you're not using it all, it's like, all right, I could cut off this room I never use. Oh, actually, I never use this room either. All of a sudden, you cut your house in half.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
But
like, oh,
but
this is what I
Sylvan
need.
tomorrow could meet a girl and then in a year get married and then have a kid a year later and then he's at least got something where he
Sylvan
can
could have
fill
a
all
kid
those rooms.
tomorrow.
Someone could have a kid right now.
But you know what I mean? Like at least he's got that option for
Mm.
like the future that he can just maintain everything in there
Mm-hmm.
and fill out those spaces, right?
Yeah.
Future proof.
But like even with like the townhouse, it's like how long are you going to stay there? Like how long is this going to be an investment? Like for me,
True.
I bought my house because I'm like I know I can put money into this and I can make it worth more and I can stay there for 25 years
Mhm.
and like it's more than enough that I need right now and it's fine for me in 20 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is the townhouse going to be what you like? Say you want to keep it for 15 years,
Mhm.
like you'll be mostly paid off at that point.
Yeah. You
It-
could start a
it-
family
yeah.
there. You have the room, like you
Yeah,
know,
just-
like
You can start a family there the next day. Just start adopting kids.
But is the price right now worth that me having it in 15 years?
Yeah, exactly. It's okay. I'm future proofing myself, but is it really necessary?
Like, is it worth being house poor?
yeah. Whereas if you did the condo, you could
sometimes-
flip it.
Sometimes those townhouses do appreciate in value. I mean,
Oh yeah. Well,
And
just-
I don't think-
I negotiated my price down for the townhouse there about 20 grand, right?
Yeah,
and
you-
then for what the market evaluated at, 5 years, almost 5 years later, it's up another 20. So I'm plus 40 right now.
wow.
so condo fees are all close to $300 a month.
Yeah. So that hurts having condo
That's a
fees.
lot.
I
300.
know. But it's.
Imagine all the nuggets that you could buy.
I just hate the idea of like, here's your mortgage. Oh, and then here's an extra fee I put on top. It's like, fuck you.
Like
It's bad
even
enough.
with
Yeah.
like my mortgage, there's always extra shit.
I know, but
Hey,
$300.
Do you think
Yeah, I
do you think you
guess.
could buy a townhouse in like one of those retirement homes?
I'd fit right in.
I don't think they actually.
Well, that's
they
the
don't
thing.
let
Like,
you.
but
Spend a
you,
day with them. They're like,
I
yeah,
mean-
he's low in energy enough. He can fit in here.
you'd have a pretty recently renovated place, like roughly, right? Like you wouldn't have to do much work to it. $224,000. I don't think you would be house poor if you took this. And I think it's affordable for yourself. I mean, obviously it's a little on the higher end for sure,
Mhm.
But then, like you said, if your needs are really not even that big, then you might as well just go with the smaller one.
Wait, it says pets allowed with restrictions. What kind of restrictions are these?
With that, it's like no big dogs.
No
Most
sharks, no
Okay.
pythons.
So yeah, I was thinking like Matty. There's like I have a pet armadillo.
Yeah, no armadillos.
No, like for that, it would be like like anything in an aquarium or like lizards that you would keep in like
Yeah.
A terrarium.
a terrarium. That's the one. Or small dogs and cats. That's about what would be allowed.
Rheal could use a cat in his life.
No. Fucking the last tenant. Oh, we thought she was a good tenant. Turns out she had like 2 cats in there. that
Just pissed everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
There's
and the whole place just stinks.
There
now.
might have been a dog too, and there's just shit all in the backyard and in the basement. And
Yeah.
my poor parents. Don't become a landlord, people.
Unless you're willing to put up with that headache.
Everyone is
Or
scum.
pay a property management group.
Yeah, but then you're losing a lot of the profits.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, man, you miss 1 month's payment because you don't have a tenant in there, and it just throws your budget all out of whack.
Yeah. Like honestly, like with the home buying thing, budget so that you can afford it by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if you want later, you can be like, okay, no, I could get a roommate because like say like with this townhouse, it's too much room. I kind of enjoy would like a little more human interaction, even if it's only like in passing. And then if you get a roommate, cuts your mortgage in half. You're just like, I'm just
Now I can put more into savings.
now
or...
you put into savings at the end of the year, going, yeah, that's a huge lump onto the mortgage.
Right. Yeah.
Until like say 7 or 8 years, the mortgage is mostly paid off, and you're like, yeah, I don't need a roommate anymore.
Yeah. No, I feel good now.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Sylvan just saw each other in the morning and saw each other right before we went to bed.
Shit, like there were weeks where I didn't even see Jayson just because our schedules were completely opposite.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But Jayson was working like crazy too.
I
So.
still was working crazy too.
Yeah, I was up at 3 a.m. and I was in bed by 7.
Yeah.
My
I would leave for work at 7 and then be home at 7.
I think like honestly too, like if you did something where you put a little more to it, like that 224, your mortgage payment's way lower. So like say you do 10% of 224, which is like 22 grand, then your mortgage is only actually
like 200
200,000. So then your mortgage payment comes way lower. Then it makes it more affordable. So it just depends what you're willing to pay. So
Yeah, all the fun stuff, man.
but then you have lots of room for the future in case, like Jayson said, you could subsidize it by getting a roommate if you wanted to, or offering it to someone. So there's opportunities there too.
With all those pictures, don't ever go off the pictures. Go like,
Yeah.
nice. Go see it in person because there's
And
a
see,
lot of
like,
things.
Oh, it's all staged. It's all staged.
Because people do it yourself all the time, and there can be mistakes or
yeah.
things that they try to copy over.
Like there was a
and
lot
over.
of.
But that's
pictures-
what you got your dad for, so that's why you'd bring your dad
like,
with you, right?
Tons of pictures I saw that were like, this place looks really nice, and I go and look at it, I'm like, this place sucks. Like everything about it sucks.
God, where are those pictures again?
Because I know, like, for example, like, funny you mentioned this as a topic because my girlfriend and I are looking at it. So we've made a plan where, we're thinking it could change, obviously, any moment because if it's something you really like, but we plan on saving a bunch of money together, and then looking next June to buy a place. So, we're saving X amount of dollars a month, and then we're gonna go look next June, come at that point in time to look at buying a house. Because right now, for me and her, we're paying $1,400 a month in rent, but that includes internet. That includes all your utilities,
Right.
and you have a dishwasher, and the only thing is we share a dryer and washer, but that's fine. And we got AC, like it's not the greatest, but it's still there, right? And a huge amount of space to ourselves for that amount of money, right? So it's $700 a piece, and when you do that, it's really affordable because it's like I was paying by myself, but now groceries are like combined instead of it being by yourself and this and that, so it's a lot more affordable for us. So we're like, man, if we can make $1,400 payments, we can easily go get a house right now.
You could buy anything.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah, exactly. And we're like, well, we might as well own
1,400.
it. But like at this point, we're like, let's just save it so we do it ourselves. We don't want to have help, right? Like I personally don't really want to ask. I'd rather just do it ourselves, and we can do it in a year, and that's not a bad time. Like, because then we'll be have lived for a year and a half together already, and all that. So that's the kind of the plan we're going on. But we're looking like I think me and her, we've kind of made a price point of like nothing really more than $350. And if it's like $350,000, like we want something where we don't have to put a lot of work into it because one, I'm not handy at all, and I don't want to ask my dad or anyone else to do stuff for me. I'd rather just have something. I guess we got Sylvan, yeah, but like if it's already kind of like been renovated recently or in good shape, I think that's what we're kind of looking for. And I think that's the way we want to go. But I mean, things can change in an instance where you find something you love so much, like, okay, maybe we could just ask, for help and then get it down.
You buy one of those home lottery tickets and you win the $1 million.
That's what I have. I already did buy my lotto ticket for that. I'm gonna win it actually. So come July here when I win it on Spadina, we'll all have a house party. It's gonna be awesome.
The property taxes on
that would be insane.
Dear God.
But you also have a $1 million house that you got for $100.
Honestly, if I bought, if I won that, I would sell that thing for like half price, just wholesale the thing.
Oh, I would sell it.
And I would pay off my mortgage, and they'd be like, okay, well, I have a little bit of money left over, but I have no mortgage payment for the rest of my life.
Well, that's the other thing that it's a catch-22 because like the property tax is a little higher, but you don't make a mortgage payment because it's just free and clear.
So your mortgage is your property tax.
Exactly. You're paying property tax. Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
But at least you own it. Like I don't think it'd be that like it'd be higher, but it wouldn't be. It'd be like $10,000 maybe.
How nice of a house is it to be $1 million?
It's a brand new house.
I know, but that's got to be a.
It's really nice.
We're
gorgeous
gonna
house.
You want to
virtual showroom?
Yeah, let's go to it.
Yeah,
because
okay.
that's the one I'm gonna win come July here, you guys.
It
I
better
put
be
$125.
Fucking gorgeous house, dude.
What is this? The hospital home lottery?
Yeah.
Yeah, or
I just like
Saskatoon Home Lottery is what
no
it
matter
is.
how many features you add, I just can't justify.
I think you go to Saskatoon Home Lottery.
Yeah, there's two different. There's hospital and there's Saskatoon.
That one's nice, but I think the Saskatoon Home Lottery is
Good.
better.
God, that's a nice house. And that's just the outside.
Oh, the hospital home lottery, the house is worth more every time. Yeah. Like this
$1.8 million designer home.
I don't even.
I know, right?
They're not,
Just
they're
the
not gonna let us. They're not gonna let us take
just
a
the
virtual.
fact that it's probably like
go to
3,000
Saskatoon Home
square
Lottery.
foot.
Because that one's on Spadina. It's right on the river. You see the weir right there. Yeah, you're gonna have to put Saskatoon Home Lottery instead of hospital.
I still have hospital in there.
Yeah.
Fucked it up.
And this one gives you pictures and a virtual tour.
Does it have a backyard? If it's by the weir?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know if those.
Or Kinsman Home Lottery. Sorry, that's it right there. Yep. Second one. Yep. That's the one.
Killing it, Jayson.
So that's the one on Spadina.
Ah, the square.
I don't like the square house.
So
The,
I always loved square houses because
Xeon XB.
they look crazy. They look cool. They also have a deck on the top. I like that a lot.
Oh, seriously? You can
Yeah,
go
that's
stand
the
on
deck
top?
right there. You can see there.
Oh, that
Or
part there?
it's in there.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you meant
there
the
you
actual
go.
top.
No,
of the
but I
roof.
think you
was
could
like,
maybe
fuck
do
yeah.
something like that. But that's so sweet. So you wake up to that every morning, go outside, have coffee.
I hate the square house.
Really?
I like the square house.
I don't mind. 3,600 square foot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it's right, like you see the weir right there in the map.
Oh, it's a beautiful location. It's a beautiful house.
So for all our listeners, there's Kinsman Home Lottery. It's a giant house, like over 3,600 square
I
feet,
like those stairs.
right by the river here in Saskatoon. Beautiful location. It's prime location for pretty much anyone.
We are not sponsored.
We're not sponsored by anyone.
We're just a
We're about to take a virtual tour.
Man.
It's very modern, very open.
Super open concept.
I hate the painting. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's just me.
that piece.
Oh, and also the other kick is with this one for the Kinsman Home Lottery.
Yeah.
Everything is fully furnished and comes in with it.
Oh,
So
so it
all
comes
this
with
is
all
already
this?
part of the house, so you don't have
that's
to bring
nice.
anything if you don't
That's
want it.
nice. 'Cause it's gorgeous. What about the books? Do the books come with
I think they do.
someone else's trophy? Ooh, it looks like I won a tennis match
Wow,
sometime.
I didn't know you were so good at bowling.
So like
all these picture frames full of random white people you don't know.
So obviously, what happens is a bunch of people buy like a large package, right? They'll spend $600 hoping that they can get this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know a person actually that me and Rheal work with. His friend has won 2 of them,
What?
Really?
2 home lotteries.
Are you like houses?
Yeah.
What?
And one in Regina, one in Yorkton.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You'd be set for life. If you sold
So,
them.
just for example, when I spent $125 and I'm going to get a $1 million house in return, it's worth the investment. And I will invite everyone over in July when I win this house.
Perfect.
that includes all the strangers and just the
That
people
includes
listening.
everyone that doesn't. You
All
just
our
come to
listeners.
Saskatoon, just type in Kinsman Home Lottery, and we'll hang out.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
That's a
So
nice house.
it's nice,
But-
but like there's stuff I don't like about it. But you can make the changes, or you can just sell it, right? Like you can do anything with it as soon as you take possession.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. My house right now is too much home for me.
I know.
If I win, that thing's more than twice the size of my house.
I know. But for $100, it's worth it.
Sylvan, you can have 3 families living in that house.
They're
I
not
gotta
allowed
tell
to speak
myself-
to each other. They're all my families.
I know I'm not gonna win it, but I gotta tell myself I'm gonna win it. Because in case it
justifies the
happens, like I
purchase.
knew it.
I mean, that's the point of the lottery, right?
Yeah.
You just fantasize about it, and if
Yeah.
you win, cool. most likely you won't, but
Actually, I think that's the whole point of lottery tickets.
if I
It's
won
a
it,
fantasy.
like if I won this, it'd be hard not to keep it just because of the location. Because you're like, I'm right by the river, and that's where I always like to be.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's so nice.
Dude.
But then it's like Sylvan said, it's so excessive and so much. Like,
But
do
I
I
mean-
need that much?
Good God, would you have a nice life there?
Yeah.
Just
I'd
house-wise.
sell it, and I would
And then
probably actually sell my house, just buy an acreage.
Yeah, and
Mr.
that's the other thing, right? Like, you'd have
just park
so much
a
money.
trailer out there, you know.
So I can park my van out there.
Yeah.
You could
Come
you'd
on
have so
out.
much money.
You can
Hey.
leech off my Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
I'll
you're-
get a booster for you.
Your dad can park all of his cars and everything
Oh,
out there too.
God,
Rent some
we need an
space.
acreage.
An acreage would solve all of our problems.
No, we should just send up a tent city at your place.
just a fucking squatter zone.
We can build up walls so we can make it like a ravine type thing.
We can have a little mock battle, see who is the king
Oh,
hobo.
Fuck,
you
we'll
can
just
set
get
it up like
paintball
territories, like you fight over.
We can have gang wars.
The other thing you could do is like if you have like $1 million property, you sell it, and then you could build your own house the way you want
Just
it built.
Mad Max it, you know. It's like an
that
absolute
would be my
wasteland
plan.
out there.
Nice.
Like, because that's what I do. I would build my own house.
Right. But again, so just getting back to this though, like if I walked this house, I'd be like, oh, this is a gorgeous house. Yeah, this is a really nice house. And they're like, all right, what's it worth? I'd be like, oh, like 900,000, maybe 800,000. Like I just can't see the 1.8 million
Oh,
here.
This isn't a 1.8 million.
Oh,
this one's
this one was-
completely different.
No, but it's still like a mil though, wasn't
it's
it?
probably
It's probably close
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah,
like
it's just like I
It's
just
over a mil.
don't see the
yeah.
million.
The hospital one.
That one,
It's
okay,
bigger
that's
and it's
big house.
Yes, like
it's also outside of the city too, so the property value out there is probably nuts.
Would it be more or less?
Especially in the Grasswood area, it'll
yeah,
be more.
I think
Okay.
you also get more land.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that
Like,
one had.
yeah.
This
almost
one
like
probably
big
has like a
acreage.
decent yard, but like if you go out there, you're probably getting like a yard and a half.
I was thinking it'd be like a small acreage.
Yeah, you probably
Probably on
have
that one.
like a quarter acre, something like that.
I could see that, but yeah, I don't know. Definitely way too much house for us.
Oh God, yes. Like
But for
a house like this
$100?
is it might even be too much for like a family of 4.
Yeah. Comfortable living, man.
Damn,
But then
rich people.
but then you just get a dog like John Wick has, because that's like a John Wick property right here.
Yeah,
Looks
so let
like
it
John
piss
Wick.
and shit.
No.
everywhere.
What you do is you turn this into like a Big Brother like scenario. You just start filming a reality TV show with a bunch of strangers in your house and
No. There's a reason I
expense it
have
all.
people locked in my house. You don't understand.
No, officer, they're chained to the radiator because they want to be chained to the radiator.
Isn't that right?
It'll be a part 2 of the Tequila nightclub on CTV. Spadina Crescent.
All of a sudden, you just hear on the news, it's like horror on Spadina. And then you watch it all. It's like Ray's being dragged out by handcuffs, and like 14 people are just let out of the house. But I think, yeah, this is definitely a big step.
Well, it's the biggest purchase you'll ever make in your life. It's a house. And
I should buy a boat.
well, that could be the second. And with repairs, it'll
Hey.
turn into the biggest purchase of your
I
life.
mean, you could buy a houseboat.
Houseboat. Ooh, live on the river.
You wouldn't want. You
A
wouldn't
river
want
that freezes every winter.
I start up north and I just float my way along.
Oh yeah, everyone's got different
we
lifestyles,
float our
man.
way down in the winter.
Everyone's got different lifestyles.
Work in a different city every
You're a
month.
snow whale instead of a snowbird.
You can't even go back upriver because you forgot you don't have
You
enough
gotta
money for
loop
gas.
all the way around fucking
The world.
Yeah, you gotta go through the Panama Canal, get back up to BC and float back
Somewhere on the Pacific Ocean. But I think that's one thing is it almost seems like people forget is you can buy a house and then sell it and then get a different house. You don't have to just buy the one house right off the bat.
No, you're locked in
Just-
forever.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. So
But
it's-
you want to make a plan, like how long do I see myself here for?
for
I
sure.
mean, that's the smart idea. Or you can just buy a house because you want to buy a house.
down. That's why I bought a house.
That's a terrible reason to buy a house. Never
So-
buy a house because you need a house. Buy it for the luxury.
It's a status, right? Like I have a townhome and I don't even live in it.
Yeah.
Now that's bourgeoisie.
I'm paying a mortgage. I don't even get to live there.
God, that's so ridiculous, dude.
It's
What
a
are you
fucked
doing?
situation.
It's a
It's
fucked up
weird.
situation.
But then you got a
Uh,
property that you can sell later on, right?
yeah.
If you ever
That's just
like whenever you want to.
Some
It
sick
doesn't-
equity there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the condo for my brother to live in, and then my brother decides to move out.
So your parents move in.
It's a funny situation. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you ever felt the stress of the payments? Been like, oh shit, mortgage
not
payment.
the payments, more of just like the responsibility of being a homeowner. Like every little thing adds up. Like I gotta mow my lawn, I gotta shovel my walks. If
I gotta fix a little thing here.
yeah,
I gotta...
fix this, fix that. I've had to switch out outlets, light fixtures, light switches, because like my whole house is getting kind of old, like older.
We pulled out all the carpet,
Pulled out all
redid the
carpet,
floors, painted the walls.
like pulled all the ugly wallpapering off the walls. Like,
That was, I mean, you really needed to paint the walls because there was just so much like smoke damage on it. But like that was fun painting that house because we just got absolutely tired and like we hated it.
Oh,
and
I
we
hated my life.
We
I was literally painting like I fucking hate painting on the wall.
We
and then
did
covered
that.
it with paint.
and then we covered it in paint and we sat there and we're like, we can still see
I
it.
can still see that. Why the fuck did I do that? I'm an idiot.
Oh no.
So it took an extra coat of paint, but
Oh my god.
But I mean, like that's I think that's the thing is like I think you just got to go through the payments and then once you've done it, you're like, okay, I'm comfortable doing this. Because like I've been someone like I've rented lots, like
Yeah, you've rented a shit ton of things.
you know, like I've been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe 5 different places that I've kind of rented from.
Wow.
And you know, you just gotta find something that's in your comfort zone with your price range. I don't think you'll feel the stress as much as you think, but you're not used to having to spend that much or put all that money aside to that specific thing. But the one thing you could say is, hey, I'm putting all that money to an asset
Yeah.
yeah.
that's gonna be worth more in the end. I'm gonna make money off it, so you gotta look at it that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Like when I first bought it, yes, I felt the stress. Like every month, it was like, oh god, all my payments are coming out. What do I do? But I've had my place for almost 5 years now. It's just like, yeah, it'll be 5 years. 5 years in December.
And then say like you have $1,300, that's your mortgage payment, or $1,200. All you do is think about it this way in small steps. Like I'm taking $300 from this paycheck, because you get paid every week, right? $300 from this paycheck goes there. $300 next paycheck. So then you have that money available to it for that mortgage payment at the end of the month.
Right. That's a good way to look
Yeah,
at it.
and then you're like, that's only like 1/3 or half of my paycheck or whatever it be, and you're like, it's small things, right? So.
Yeah.
Or maybe like say you only got paid bi-weekly. One of my whole paychecks is going towards that, and then one I'm going to keep for me right away. You know, so then you have enough money to know what you got to live with.
Yeah, like that's how I do it. Like
Yeah.
I'm bi-weekly right now, and it's basically like first of the month is like all my utilities, all my groceries, everything, and then whatever I want to put away.
Yep.
And then my second is my mortgage and my insurance.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's all for that, and it's done.
Exactly. So I mean, like that's the way you got to look at it. You got to kind of make a little small budget and put little goals to it, right? You're never going to be perfect with it. And sometimes you want to make sure you got something set for you first, like someone said, because in that way, if any emergency comes up where you're like, oh crap, I need a little more, then you can put that emergency fund into that payment.
Yeah,
at the end of the month.
like hypothetically, say like you buy the townhouse and you're like stretched super thin, and then we get like a really bad storm, lightning strikes the tree in your neighbor's yard and it falls and it destroys something in your property. How are you going to pay for that? You're already maxed out.
Yeah.
Or your furnace.
Yeah,
caves
or your
in.
furnace kick, because furnaces are like $5,000.
Yeah.
Good God.
Like they're not cheap.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Sylvan's furnace kept cutting out during the winter.
yeah, that piece of shit.
And that's the other thing, like with new vehicles too. Like this is not, I know it's not houses, but like that's why you want like a new vehicle sometimes too, because at least it comes with those insurances for 5 years, so you don't have to worry about it or X amount of kilometers, right? So it's like my engine blew, don't matter to me. I got insurance on it.
Coverage.
Which is sweet because my truck's paid off end of this month.
Oh, right on, man. That's nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, I paid off my car last year. It's so nice. You don't really take the hit like as much as you think you do, but after you're like, man, that $300 saves up so much money.
Man,
Oh, yeah.
mine's 500.
Yeah.
500
Are you doing
month.
bi-weekly payments?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing bi-weekly of 100.
500 bi-weekly.
No, 500 a
All
month.
together.
It's like
Oh, yeah, okay.
$249.
But you also have a
Right.
way better and bigger vehicle than
Yeah.
I did.
But no, just the idea of like all of a sudden you have $500 a month.
A month.
That's
Yeah.
free to you now.
It's free to me now.
That's insane.
Might
that's
actually
huge.
be able to start throwing money at my mortgage because it was just like
Yeah.
I don't have the extra money to throw. It was like, but
I
like
guess-
yeah.
So, or Jason might know, or Matt might know more about that. Do you think it'd be better spent putting more money into the mortgage to pay it off faster, or put it into savings to build up for retirement? Which do you think would be more?
It all depends on how, I would say it all depends on how well you think your house is going to retain its value.
It shouldn't go down. It should at least.
But
stay
you never know what
average,
could, like, it depends on like
or just
in 5
stay
years from now
neutral.
there's a recession and then
Yeah.
your house goes down 30
Yeah.
grand.
If you
Or-
think your house can like retains its value pretty well and you know your property value is just going to go up, I would say put it into the house.
I would say in theory, like personally, like if you had to, like, I would probably put it towards your retirement more than I would put it towards your house, because you still have that like even that 5%, like, you know, that saves you, like, instead of you having to spend 40 grand on the house for a down payment, you're only spending like 10 grand. And that 30 grand you can use for maybe upgrades in the house or whatever you want to do with that kind of money, or you can put it to your savings. But in theory, that asset appreciates in value over time. Mm-hmm. But maybe instead of it being a 5-year plan where you only lived in there, maybe you have to make it a 10-year plan because of something happens like to the economy where your price point goes down. Mm-hmm. But it always does come back, right? That's the other thing. It's not going to just crash like where it did in the States. To where at the point they're paying so much money and their house is only worth, like 1/3 of what they paid for. Mm. So that's why there were so many people saying, "Fuck it, I'm just going going bankrupt." Because of that. That shouldn't happen.
No, that's a very rare circumstance.
Yeah. Very rare. So like I would say in that instance, like I think that you should do a bit of both. Maybe you do a little bit.
The smart thing is to split it between the two. If you want to put it, I would say a little more risky. I would say dump it in your house. Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends what you want to do.
You could take that money and you could buy hospital home lottery tickets
and then win $1 million house.
No. Better yet, your odds are better if you go and just buy scratchers.
Autos. Stacking up houses for my retirement.
But personally, I think it depends how long you want to work and all that.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're putting, if you have an exorbitant amount of money in your account,
which we don't.
No, which we don't. But I'm just saying you did, right? I would go half and half. I put a little bit to your house every year instead of it being a massive payment at once.
Yeah. What you should do, Ray, is you buy one house, and then the next year buy the house next to it, and then the next year buy the house next to it.
And then my parents.
and then become a monopoly.
Yeah. Own the entire block. And then demolish
I
it
own
all
the blue
and build
square.
I own Park Place and Boardwalk.
This man owns Broadway. What do you mean? He owns all of Broadway.
All of Broadway. There's hotels everywhere. I don't know what the hell's going on.
But I didn't think it was zoned for this.
He just literally demolished all the buildings, just put up hotels.
Yeah. How is this working?
We have enough space to house another city on Broadway.
And then you land on someone else's property and you have to remortgage everything.
Yeah. Well, people don't realize
I don't know why. All the population is all just one giant zone. I can't figure out why.
I don't think people understand too. They don't realize it, but everyone with a pretty let's say it's $40,000 or up a year job, right? They're making $1 million in less than 25 years, right?
At 40?
In theory, your 40 goes to 50 over a course of say 10 years, and then
are you talking raises?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying raises and in normal, everyone's gonna make over $1 million in their lifetime is what I'm saying. Okay. Normally, if you have a career in that range, right? Even if it's 30,000, it's still a decent amount of money. But over time, you should be getting raises, or there should be this or this, so then it averages out to let's just say 20 years, everyone's made over $1 million. Now, what did you do with that $1 million? Did you spend it all on garbage and
cocaine,
stuff?
Hookers,
and then jokes, or did you put 500,000 aside so that you're set up for life at 50 years, or you'd be 50 because it's 20 years.
I don't expect to see retirement. I'm just gonna blow my brains out.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Then you have 500,000. That's a lot, and it's say for one person, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's almost
retirement. And if your plans are I don't want kids or this you could be retired at 50.
I'm gonna bury it in the woods somewhere and leave all y'all just cryptic clues about it, and first one to find it wins.
Fuck yeah.
Wins it.
I'm not winning that.
I'm terrible at puzzles. To go outside.
But no, it's just. One thing to me is just the fact that when you talk to older people who are maybe in their 50s or something, they're yeah, I'm still paying off the mortgage. What? How?
I mean, but they probably have re-upped their mortgage to renew, to renovate their house. So they put more money instead of buying a new house for more money.
Oh, I'm sure there's all sorts of circumstances, but just to me, I'm
or they spent all that money on fucking scratchers, man.
So let's use this example. My parents, we never had a garage, and then we got a garage. And then
riveting story, Matt.
I know. I'm not done. Damn it, let me finish. And then our kitchen, was pretty closed off and old flooring and no new cupboards. And then all of a sudden, there's new cupboards, new flooring.
They disappeared.
There's an opening
what
now.
What kind of
so
wizard do you have living in your house?
But that's what I'm saying. They had the house paid off, but they remortgaged it to get the garage, to get this, to get that brand new basement. But then it adds more value. So. My dad, he paid maybe $100,000 or even less. I think he said it was $80,000 in the 80s or whatever.
God!
And now it's worth $350,000. So he's made $270,000 off it, right?
Right.
So that's the way they're. Maybe he's got a bit more of a mortgage now, but his house is worth so much more money than he ever, and he's coming out on top,
and I mean,
right?
In that situation too, like sure you're still paying the mortgage, but then all of a sudden he's like, no, you know what? I'm done. I'm retiring. Like I'm done. Let's sell the house. I don't want to work on it anymore. And like what my aunt and uncle did was exactly that. They sold their house when they retired, and they're like, let's just buy a condo. Like I don't want to shovel the walks. I don't want to mow the lawn.
Yep.
I'm just gonna enjoy I'm gonna fucking fly to Hawaii every winter because I can.
Right.
It's like.
And then you enjoy your house more. So like now your house is like I like going in my living room because we never back when I was a kid, we never had a TV in our living room upstairs. But now it's like the main hub, like where you have couches and lazy boy chairs and everyone watches on that TV. Mm-hmm. So like you enjoy that area way more than you ever did. It was a wasted space before because everyone went to the basement.
Right.
Now our basement looks like an actual basement.
Yeah, your basement.
It's not like a junk place like it used to be where you just put your junk and get concrete
I
flooring.
like the junk place.
But you know what I mean though, like, and then like, you know, now we can flip tires in the garage instead of having to go get them flipped for us, and you have access to all this stuff that you're like, oh, it's so much more convenient for me, and you enjoy it more. Yeah. So you're putting money into what you enjoy too, right? So that's the other positive.
Also, your parents, like, just looking at their lot, they
have a huge lot.
Huge lot.
Oh
like,
yeah, your yard is your
like
backyard
that garage,
is
man. Like you have
a garden that is the length of your garage, plus the garage next to it, plus a shed, plus your like.
We have
lawn
three.
Space.
We have 3 sheds in my backyard.
It's insane how big their backyard is.
Yeah, and there used to be like no sheds there, and there used to be no garage. So it was like, and there was huge, like a giant, I'm just gonna say like a giant bush, right? Like an arch bush. Yeah. It was huge, man. So hedge, that's it, a giant hedge, and you're like, holy shit, it was awesome.
Yeah. We're gonna call it there. It's been fun talking
giant
about
bush.
Giant big hairy bush.
The answer is Matt's gonna win a lottery and someone's gonna buy me a house.
I'll have a party once you win the lottery.
I don't know about that.
You're all invited.
Matthew's gonna win the lottery. We're gonna have a party there. Ray's gonna buy a house. We're gonna have a party there.
We'll destroy some of the furniture because I'm probably not gonna like it, so we can destroy it. And then the other thing is too, like we'll sell stuff that I don't need in there.
Ritual burning.
Yeah.
Or you can just give it to Ray for his house.
Yeah,
or I'll give it to Ray.
Too nice for me.
Yeah. I want the stuff that people dumped on the side of the street.
I show Ashley the house, and she's like, I don't like the furniture. I'm like, it's free! It's free!
Probably the most avant-garde furniture.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week.
Later.
Peace.
Bye.